Dracula, I hardly knew her. It's Harmless Phosphorescence. Hello, everyone. This is Vampire Pomeranian Thoreau Smiley. Who is joining me this week?
I'm Josh Cece, and you can't just walk in here like that.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I'm sorry. I had a lot of sugar already today.
I'm Jerry Wagner, and I forgot my sword.
This little hellion right here is Alaric Weber.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. This is the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. This show is brought to you by our patrons. We got patrons like executive producers Ember Keller, Michael Beckwith, and Atticus Burkett. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it very much, all of y'all.
Yep.
And you, gentle listener, can be a patron too. Head on over to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. It's $1 to get you started, and you get an extra podcast every month. That's our monthly movie. Comes to you for just at the dollar level. Pay a little bit more, you get a bunch of other. We've got a lot of back catalog up there now. Star Wars stuff, music stuff. We put out a weekly American Top 4 where we each recommend songs. So it's a good deal. Price of a cup of coffee will get you in on the fun. So head on over there. That's patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. Now, this week on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are watching Blade Trinity.
I have to ask you a couple of questions. What can you tell me about vampires?
They exist.
Blade.
First, he faced their gods. Then he battled their demons. But all that was only the beginning.
He's come back.
Vampire final solution.
You can't win this war alone.
Who the hell are you people?
My father meant for us to help you.
Whistler's daughter. What the hell makes you think you know about hunting vampires?
Just for starters, I used to be one.
Blade Trinity.
There's nothing stopping them now.
There's me.
Call it by its Christian name, please.
Yes.
5 now, 5 dogs, 5. I have some. I have some alternate titles for this movie.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Blade Trinity, Whistler's daughter. Blade Trinity, Stakeout.
Stakeout.
And finally, my favorite, National Lampoon's Van Wilder's Blade Trinity.
Very apropos.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to get like I completely forgotten that Ryan Reynolds was in this, and I had never seen this before. So
I don't think I had, because I would have remembered that cast.
Yeah.
Maybe not at the time, but yeah.
So yeah, I didn't realize this early on. He was just going full Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
in superhero movies. I had no idea he was already doing that.
Yeah. Well, you need a Chevy Chase type if you're going to do a serious vampire movie.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget when American Werewolf in London had Steve Martin in it.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Well, I mean, Keanu was there for levity, right? In Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Yeah.
He was the comic relief.
Comedic relief, yeah.
He was playing, Bill and Ted. Anyway,
Whoa, vampire.
Blade Trinity was released December 8th, 2004. Christmas movie. Running time of 113 minutes. Budget of 65. Took in 132. So
All
it was
right.
a hit. Not as big as the previous two, but still did well. I brought up the box office, which means it's time for us to play the box office top 10.
Ding, ding, ding.
This is the game where we are going to count down the top 10 of the week that this was released, December 3rd through the 9th, 2004. The boys are going to try to guess where Blade Trinity opened, and then they will try to guess what every other movie on the list is based on me describing it via the box office mojo description.
It's harder than it sounds.
It really is, especially since I tend to leave out proper nouns when appropriate.
Yeah.
So we'll give Jerry first crack at this since he's our less common guest on the show. Where do you think Blade Trinity opened?
2004. I don't even remember 2004 very well, so I can't remember the movie, so I would probably say maybe 2 because it's Blade.
Jerry has number 2. Let's head backwards, which means Josh.
Yes, I am. That's Asian human evolution. Step back. Well, I'm going to go. I rarely do this, but number 1. Let's put it all.
Josh
always bet on black.
Puts it all on the line.
Bet on black.
Yeah. Al, what you thinking?
I felt like it was at the top. I'll take it down to the number 3 slot.
Number 3. All right. And how about you?
We got the dog pile.
Price is Right rules, number 4.
Number 4. All right.
PRRs.
So, we starting here at number 10 for the week of December 3rd through the 9th, 2004. Opening at number 10, the story of Sir J.M. Barrie's friendship with a family who inspired him to create Peter Pan.
Finding Neverland.
Yeah, Finding Neverland.
Yeah. Yes.
I said Neverland like it was a
Neverland.
Neverland, Missouri.
Yeah.
Well, I had a moment where I thought Finding Neverland was in my mind was the Michael Jackson documentary, and I was like, that's not.
Yeah.
No, I keep doing that in my head, thinking it's called Finding Neverland. I'm like,
Michael's quest to find the perfect piece of property for his people.
Neverland.
I'd watch that.
Just Michael Jackson going through real estate listings, viewing houses.
The country.
All the way back in the history of the Neverland Ranch before he even bought it.
He's like, well, I like the open style kitchen and the granite countertops, but there's no place for my man cave.
Yeah, where do I put a dungeon?
Yeah, exactly.
How many sleeping bags can this hold?
Is the lighting good for looking at buttholes?
And if not, can I put in some track lighting for looking at buttholes?
Yes.
Coming
Energy
in,
efficient.
yeah,
Buttholes already.
yeah. It was a fast leap to the buttholes. Coming in at number 9. After finding love, our protagonist questions if she really has everything she ever dreamed of having.
What an asshole.
I don't.
You're not supposed to have everything.
No.
How to lose a guy in 10 days? I don't know.
It is a sequel.
Blade
It's a
3.
It's a sequel. So we listened to her complain once already.
I don't know the series well enough to know if this is the second or the third. I know they did make 3.
Is it Bridget Jones related?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
The
Renee
Bridget
Zellweger?
Jones supremacy. Identity.
It is Bridget Jones, the edge of reason.
Bridget Jones :
Yeah, if you're reading the Don LaFontaine voice.
Can she have everything? No.
But the man she loves has a new secret. Coming in.
A new one.
Yeah. Coming in at number 8. The king of Macedonia and one of the greatest army leaders in the history of warfare conquers much of the known world.
You want to take that out?
Alexander the Great.
That is not the title of the film, but it's close.
Yeah, Macedonia.
Just Alexander?
Just Alexander.
Yeah.
And the terrible
Exactly
and the
right.
terrible, no good, very bad conquest.
And
Hold on, Don.
I'm sorry, Macedonia?
Macedonia.
Return of the Mac.
Yeah, totally.
Return of the Mac.
The sequel was Return of the Mac.
Lie to me. Yep. No.
Macedonia.
Macedonia. I never knew that.
Really?
No.
That's awesome.
I
We were all
never
here
did.
for that.
Thank you.
You too, listener. You were here for that. For Throw to Learn.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it out loud before, honestly. I mean, maybe
feel
in
like
high
I
school.
learned.
I'm sure in high school I did.
I never thought to call it Macedonia. I'm going to just call it
love it.
Macedonia for the rest of my life.
It's one of the better nuts.
I'm a Macedonia. Yes, it is one of the
Hey, baby, you want to take a trip down to Macedonia?
I don't know.
The answer to that question is confusing.
Maybe.
Your tone of voice leads me to believe that there's some question as to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming in at number 7. A wanted man by the FBI must join forces with others to face his most challenging enemy yet.
What? Lower back pain?
Oh, no, wait. This is Blade Trinity.
Yes, it is.
Oh, let's see what you did there.
Say that description again.
I'll say it with the proper nouns. Blade.
No.
Well, okay, wait. I'll say it without the proper nouns. A wanted man.
Okay.
A wanted man by the FBI must join forces with others to face his most challenging enemy yet.
Oh, just others. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I thought he was joining forces with the FBI.
With the proper nouns, it's Blade. Now a wanted man by the FBI must join forces with the Night Stalkers to face his most challenging enemy yet, Dracula.
Well, you made the right choice. But
Yeah.
saying it the
Yeah.
first way. Wow, so that's
wait.
number 7. We were
7.
throwing
Wow.
money
Number
around that
7.
There's
way.
a Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings in there somewhere.
It
I'm
did
pretty
not do
sure.
well. There are 6 movies that did better, and some of them aren't.
But Blade made a lot, so it's like, yeah, we were going to the movies this week.
Well, and there's another movie that opened up this week that's coming up. That's like, really, that one? So
This wasn't necessarily. I mean, it wasn't a great month for Blade to come out. December,
Yeah.
whatever it was. You know, unless
Should've
they were
been
trying
October.
to, the Trinity. Maybe they were trying to pretend it was a Christmas movie.
the Father, the Son, and the Holy Blade.
Yeah, his worst enemy yet, the Holy Ghost.
The
Which
whole,
yet again, the title doesn't make sense. Just call it Blade 3. The Rise
Yeah.
of Dracula or something. Or
the
with
Rise of
Whistler's daughter.
Dracula. Whistler's daughter.
The rise of the rise of Taj. The
Blade and
Trinity
Whistler
is
go to
hit-
White
it-
Castle.
Well, the Trinity is Blade, Abby, and Hannibal, right? That's what they mean.
I mean, I never put it together that far. I just thought they were
Yeah.
like 3 Trinity. Okay.
Hey, man, I never know how far into this stuff you want me to look.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not entirely certain that the makers of the film thought that far into it.
Oh, Goyer. We'll talk about Goyer
Yeah,
as we have.
we will. Yeah, we've talked about him a few times. We'll talk about him again. I think this might be the best one to talk about him in depth on, since it's his
He directed it.
right and direct, which he's never done before since, really, on one of these big ones. All right, so coming in at number 6. Our protagonist takes leave from the town that he lives in order to track down a stolen crown. I've actually seen this movie a number of times.
The Thomas Crown Affair.
That was my guess.
Stolen Crown.
Wait.
There's a 50% chance those of you without children will never have seen this.
Is it
It is a child's film.
oh my God.
Oh,
The Emperor's New Groove.
No.
Emperor's Old Groove.
The SpongeBob SquarePants Affair. Now, the SpongeBob
Oh.
SquarePants movie.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, that is the plot of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, by the way. He has to track down Neptune's stolen crown.
I see.
I probably watched every episode of SpongeBob. I've never gleaned a plot or story once.
Opening this week at number 5. I don't have to change this description at all. The relationships of 2 couples become complicated and deceitful when the man from one couple meets the woman of the other.
The man.
I didn't change a word, by the way.
When you say the man.
Huh.
This opened this week, and that description was higher than Blade Trinity.
Yeah, crazy.
This movie.
Wasn't watching a lot of rom-coms.
I actually saw.
Yeah, I don't.
It is not a rom-com.
Oh.
28 Days Later.
That was a rom-com.
I actually saw this in the theater. It was a date movie. 28 Days Later.
You say these
was
things
terrified.
like they're clues.
I know. It stars Natalie Portman, Julia Roberts, Jude Law, and Clive Owen.
Oh, is that the one where Natalie Portman's a stripper in a blue wig? And
Yeah,
she
she is.
I can't remember the name of it though. Disclosure or something.
Closer.
Ah,
Closer. You were close. Yeah.
Closer.
Oh, I almost forgot to give points out. Right now, Jerry is winning with 1 point. Coming in.
Sounds about right.
I forgot we've instituted a point system now. So coming in at number 4
And you're winning, and that's all we know.
with 1 point.
That's all I know at this time.
1 point has thus far been awarded. Coming in at number 4. A family, while trying to live the quiet suburban life, are forced into action to save the world.
The Incredibles?
Yes.
nice.
Al gets 1/2 of a point.
Oh.
Coming for you, Jerry.
Oh man, I can see you. The student has become the teacher.
Coming in at number 3. With their daughter Blair away, Luther and Nora decide to skip Christmas altogether until she decides to come home, causing an uproar when they have to celebrate it at the last minute.
Christmas with the Cranks?
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! Woo! Jerry!
I lived with a woman who read this book. My ex-girlfriend
Wait,
read
this was a book?
Yeah, and then she watched the movie and was like, the book was much better. And I was like, all of this is shit. I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I think I always thought this was an Eddie Murphy film, like where he wears like fat suits and stuff.
Oh, is it? I thought it was.
No, it's not.
No, I thought it was.
The clumps.
Oh.
Christmas with the clumps.
Christmas with the
Clumps.
That's right.
No, it's Tim Allen, who actually now is a notorious crank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jerry gets 75,000 points for that one.
I'm gonna donate these.
Deservedly so.
Yes. Coming
Gryffindor.
in at number 2. On Christmas Eve, a young boy embarks on a magical adventure.
Well, good for him.
Good for him, right? Yeah.
2004.
This movie, as a hint, is unintentionally terrifying. Well, I mean, there's a lot of Christmas movies that are.
Yeah,
but
yeah. The Polar Express.
Yes.
Oh, the Uncanny Valley Express.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. The first time I heard of that, to be honest. Yeah. The Uncanny Valley.
Yeah. Josh gets 12 and 2/3 points.
Sweet. What's up to 0?
Coming in at number 1. A historian races to find the legendary Templar treasure before a team of mercenaries.
Indiana Jones?
The
And the
Da
Crystal
Vinci
Skulls?
Code?
I don't know.
What'd you say, Al?
The Da Vinci Code?
No.
That
Angels
was,
and Demons? What was the other one that he made?
there's that Nicolas Cage one where he had to throw the
National Treasure?
National treasure. Yes, everybody loses 17 points.
bam. We alley-ooped that, Al. We alley-ooped that. I like
That
fed
was
it,
good.
and you just put it right in. Bam. Nicolas Cage throwing the
Once you invoke the
Constitution.
power of Nick Cage.
Yes.
Like
Nick,
Shazam.
that was the number 1 movie of the week, December 3rd through the 9th, 2004.
Really?
Yes.
Jesus, America.
The point total now stands. Josh has negative 23,000 points.
Yes, getting there. Getting there.
Jerry has 11 points
Yeah.
because he started at a negative deficit due to
Oh, yeah.
circumstances. Al has 7 points. And Brian has yet to score, so
Story of my life.
Despite getting multiple answers correct. And that is the box office top 10 game of the week.
Yeah.
It's nail biting. Which brings us to character background. Al, were there any new characters in this that are actual comic characters?
Surprisingly, there were.
Oh, damn.
I didn't find this out until, I don't know, moments before watching it the second time.
You called off the wedding.
Yeah.
He says, I object.
Okay, so the Night Stalkers were a team of vampire hunters first gathered in Ghost Rider Volume 3, number 28, August of 1992. When they
Day Walker, Night Stalker, Jive Talker.
Don't you mess around with me.
Pot sticker.
They formed a detective agency in Boston.
And they solved local mysteries around the neighborhood, like who stole the homework.
The real estate was better in Boston.
The team consisted of 3 previously existing characters in the Marvel Universe. First of which was Blade.
Yeah.
The second was Frank Drake, a direct descendant of the human Count Dracula. That is, before Dracula became a vampire.
Huh.
His lineage, he sired children.
Yeah.
Frank Drake and Blade fought Dracula together with Rachel Van Helsing and Quincy Harker in the 70s series Tomb of Dracula. And we see an issue of that. Makes an appearance in this film.
Yeah.
And the third member was Hannibal King, a vampiric private detective. King was killed and turned by the vampire Deacon Frost while on a case in London.
Oh, old Deacon.
Old Deacon Frost. Vowing to never pass on his curse, King subsisted on purchased or stolen blood from blood banks, or consumed only the blood of corpses and animals.
Ew.
And Whole Foods brand oatmeal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I went paleo. I hate it, but
it's doing wonders for my BMI.
Yeah. And my BMs.
Hannibal King himself first appeared in the Tomb of Dracula number 25 back in October of 1974. The Night Stalkers series ran for 18 issues from November 92 until April 94, wherein the trio were called upon by Doctor Strange to combat supernatural threats. The series culminated in the resurgence of Dracula and the vampire species, previously thought to have been eradicated in the Tomb of Dracula storyline, where Doctor Strange and Hannibal King used the Darkhold book to cast the Montesi formula, basically a worldwide anti-vampire spell.
Ooh, damn. So,
this movie loosely has plot origins from the Tomb of Dracula back in the 70s.
Interesting.
Wow. So, like, way more than DC's Catwoman that we just spoke about recently. Okay.
And what's her name? Abigail Whistler is completely made up for this movie.
Okay.
She did not appear in comics anywhere before or after, I believe. I don't know.
Yeah.
They really needed someone to cry in the shower.
Yeah.
For Chris Christopherson.
Could have been Chris Christopherson. Crying in the shower.
Well, originally he was just in the whole film, and they actually shot all those scenes with him. But all right, thank you, Al, for that background, which I was not expecting for this movie.
Yeah.
That brings us to the film production itself. It was written and directed by David S. Goyer. We've mentioned him a few times. We'll go a little more in depth this time. So, Goyer, he's pretty much just went to film school, USC, came out and started selling scripts. Not much there in the background. That's very interesting. He is, however, a self-professed comic book nerd. He actually, throughout the 80s and 90s, you can see a lot of his letters were to Stan Lee, and whatever the DC equivalent was got published, like letters to the editor. So he's got
Jenny O'Neill.
Yeah, he's definitely got the bona fides. He actually ended up writing the JSA title from 99, which debuted in 1999. Let's see, he ran the first 51 issues before departing from that. I imagine just because this film writing and directing career was too busy, made him too busy to run a comic title. But he got his start. His very first, he wrote this while in college and sold it almost immediately after graduating. He wrote Death Warrant, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. He wrote Kickboxer 2, The Puppet Masters, Crow City of Angels, which we covered. That was his first superhero movie, Crow City of Angels. Dark City, he wrote the first 2 Blades. He wrote and directed this one. His comic book movie career kind of kicked into overdrive after this, because he's got Batman Begins, Jumper, The Dark Knight, Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, Dark Knight Rises, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. His most recent film that he wrote was Terminator Dark Fate. So,
well, all those Batman movies were fantastic, I think.
Yeah.
I know we'll get to them eventually, but
all the Nolan Batman movies are great. Yeah. And we will absolutely get to them. And then, Batman versus Superman and Terminator Dark Fate both are iffy. So yeah, that's it. I noticed Stan Lee had an executive producer credit on this one. I don't feel like he had an executive on any of the others.
Was there a cameo in this movie?
I didn't see it. Anybody else see one?
I didn't see one.
No, I didn't see one either.
Yeah.
I wonder if this was the last Marvel movie without a Stan Lee cameo. We have Wesley Snipes in the lead. Again, we've spoken about him a number of times.
Did anybody watch the TV show What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
I've seen the film, but not I haven't watched the show yet.
Well, one of the best, I think it's in the first season, where they have to be brought in front of the Council of Vampires, and they have a grip of people who have played vampires in other movies, including Wesley Snipes as Blade, but he's there via Skype. So it's like a laptop on a stool, but he's Blade. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I like Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, well, yeah. Apparently,
Simon Phoenix.
So apparently, on this film, Wesley Snipes was not a nice guy. Specifically on this film, let's see. He apparently refused to come to set often. To the point where many of the scenes, especially the action scenes, are his face digitally stitched onto a stuntman's body.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, is this when he was getting like totally reamed by the IRS?
I don't know. I don't know if that was this
prison.
era.
I think so. I think this is around that time.
Yeah.
I'm reading that reportedly Wesley Snipes was unhappy with the film's script, and the original choice of director, it doesn't say who that was.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they brought on David Goyer, Snipes was unhappy about that as well.
Yes.
So he was just kind of pouting in his dressing room.
Yeah. Patton Oswalt.
Smoking pot.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt.
Smoking pot. Yeah.
Patton Oswalt says that Snipes spent most of his time in his trailer smoking pot.
Wow.
He accused.
Well, I was going to say he expressed a lot of desire to come back and reprise his role, and that's probably why he didn't get the green light on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. And well, I mean, he accused Goyer of racism, which no one ever backed up in any way, shape, or form. I'm not sure what that even like.
Yeah. Did he mean in the script or as a human being? Yeah. Odd.
Yeah. It's unclear. Then it's also alleged that Snipes hated working with Ryan Reynolds and referred to him as that cracker.
That's fair.
I mean, he is that cracker. So
Yeah, he is.
He's Canadian too.
Yes.
If it makes it any worse.
Jessica Biel starred as Abigail Whistler. She got her start on Seventh Heaven.
Oh,
Sorry, if Ryan Reynolds is a Canadian, would he be more appropriately described as a biscuit?
yeah, maybe so.
Do they?
A biscuit's a cookie, though.
Oh, right. Crisp? No, that's a potato chip.
Yeah, I think cracker's just cracker.
Okay.
Yeah, by any other name.
It does not taste as salty. Let's see.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, Jessica Biel, who I constantly get confused with Jessica Alba. Let's see. She was in Yuli's Gold in 1997. Rules of Attraction. That was a good movie. The 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
She I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Dude.
Isn't she married to Justin Timberlake now?
Oh, yeah. Is she? I think she might be.
I think so.
Yeah.
Or they were years ago. I don't know. I don't keep up with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been a while since I've read People magazine.
I think you're right.
She was in the Total Recall remake, the A-Team movie, a bunch of stuff I haven't really heard of, but yeah. She voices herself in BoJack Horseman.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No,
she was in a movie with Chris Evans called London, and she played the title character, London, and it was a really interesting movie.
She was the embodiment of the city of London.
There was, I think, just the two of them did as much cocaine as the city of London does in like an evening.
I have a layover in London.
Dun.
Ryan Reynolds.
No, Al, in London is brown chicken, boom, 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 boom. Something more like that.
God save the Queen.
Yeah, that just repeats on all their pornography.
It just as a voiceover over everything. Guys, God save the Queen. God save the Queen. Ryan Reynolds got his start. Well, his first big break kind of was Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. Or no, just Two Guys and a Girl is what it was
and
called.
And a baby.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like a Mouseketeer or something?
I don't know. Was he? Let's see. Oh,
Timberlake was.
Actually, he started in the Canadian-produced teen soap opera Hillside.
Oh shit.
Canadian soaps.
Teen soaps. They invented it.
Yeah.
A lot of drama
on the bottom.
Let's see. He was in a show called The Odyssey in 1993-94. He had a guest spot in The X-Files. He was a co-star in the Sabrina the Teenage Witch movie opposite Melissa Joan Hart. Let's see. After Two Guys... No, it was called Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. Okay.
Well,
yeah, I think they shortened it, though, at one point.
They're like, lose the pizza place.
That's too much.
It's controversial.
These days.
It burned down in those race riots.
That they had up there in Edmonton.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, so then he was in Van Wilder.
He was Van Wilder.
Yeah,
He
was
was
he
Van
basically
Wilder.
became that character.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
act like he's Taj.
Still Van Wilder.
He put on like a cursed glove and just became it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Like I have all the stones: sarcasm, pithiness,
Abs.
Yeah, abs.
Let's see. After this, we'll see him again in X-Men Origins Wolverine, a movie I'm looking forward to. And then of
He did
course,
a lot of comic book movies. I get, like they let him keep trying on suits.
Green Lantern. He will play Green Lantern. We'll see that. Which, by the way, I mean, with the new Flashpoint stuff that's going to be happening in the Flash movie, that character of Green Lantern is canon for the DC universe.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then of course,
in 2009, I just discovered this. He played what was it, Captain Excellent in a movie called Paper Man.
Yes, he did. We are not going to be
another superhero thing.
I remember that.
It's not a superhero movie per se. We're not going to be covering it. It's kind of a weird indie romantic comedy where he's like an imaginary character.
Well, it's like Play It Again, Sam, or True Romance, where the protagonist is speaking to a character.
Exactly.
It's totally there for them and the audience. Yeah.
If we run out of superhero movies, it may be one we get to eventually. But as of right now,
I'm
it's
not
not on the
pushing
list.
for it.
And of course, then Deadpool was his big superhero break. Gets him into possibly the MCU. That's in the air. That's happening. Yeah. He was in R.I.P.D., a movie which is not on our list. It is a comic book movie, but I don't know if that's. I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about that one. I'm not too into it, but we'll see. And of course, most recently, he was Pikachu in Detective Pikachu.
That's right.
That's a superhero movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I just saw that recently. Just me by myself.
I haven't seen it. Jude
I haven't yet.
So
I watched it with my kid.
Yeah. Jude said it was fine.
Yeah, it was all right.
While we're on the production thing and Ryan Reynolds, this movie is why Deadpool happened, essentially. He's been quoted as saying that because one of the production staff said to him, like, since you're essentially playing Deadpool the way you're acting, you ought to play him in a movie. And he had no idea who he was, supposedly, and he picked up the character and the comics and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And out of that comment, that offhand comment, he started to pursue people who were interested in making the movie.
Far out. Yeah, it's the same energy for sure.
Absolutely. 100%. Dominic Purcell as Dracula / Drake.
Drake. He started at the bottom.
Now we're here.
True. It's the bottom of a period.
Yeah.
Let's see. He was in Mission Impossible 2, Equilibrium.
Prison Break, right?
Yeah, Prison Break is I think where he's most known for. Definitely Prison Break. Yeah.
Give me a break.
He was also in The Flash. Al, I'm sure you know about that.
Oh yeah. So he first appeared in The Flash as Mick Rory, aka Heatwave. He was eventually he would be a partner to Captain Cold, who was played by the other guy that was in Prison Break.
His brother.
Yeah. But so he's played that character from 2014 to present. The ongoing on Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So he's still playing that role of Mick Rory. He's great in that. He's hilarious.
He's a laugh right in this too.
Oh yeah. We got Chrissy K, aka Chris Christopherson, aka Abraham Whistler. Yes, Abraham Whistler. We talked about him before, mostly known as Chris Christopherson.
Right.
Parker Posey playing Parker Posey in this.
Yeah, she is playing her mean girl character.
Absolutely.
But, it works.
Yeah. As Danica Talos, I first saw her, as I think most people probably did, in Dazed and Confused, or at least that's where I first became aware of her. She was in all of the Christopher Guest mockumentaries, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, Mighty Wind. God, what else? Oh, I loved her in Kicking and Screaming. She was in Scream 3. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
Josie.
She was so good in that.
Oh yeah, she was.
And she's so good in Josie and the Pussycats.
Josie and the Pussycats. Yeah, I was gonna say, which is a comic book movie.
Yeah.
And we will see her again in Superman Returns. That is coming up.
Oh yeah, she plays. What's the name of Luther's gal?
Kitty
Friday?
Kowalski.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe she was the same character.
She wasn't
as earlier.
Mrs. Tessmacher. No.
Not
Tessmacher.
Yeah.
A couple of notables. She was on Futurama in the episode "The Deep South," where Atlanta had sunk into the ocean. She was the voice of Umbriel.
That's cool.
And the last couple of years, she has played June Harris, aka Dr. Smith, on Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Ooh, why?
Yeah.
Ooh.
She does a pretty good job in that.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does.
she does.
The most recent thing I saw her in was in the Netflix version of what's that movie with the remake of that with the John Cusack movie about the
High Fidelity?
High Fidelity, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, she was pretty good in that. That was a pretty good. I like that series. It got canceled though. We got Callum Keith Rennie as Asher Talos, her brother. He was in Battlestar Galactica, Californication, a movie called Frank's Cock.
I wonder what that's about.
A superhero of a
rooster
different
farmer?
kind. What if that you were a farmer? That's all you did. You just I don't know how I get new ones, but I come out every day.
Every day.
You raised them for stud.
Yep. Yes.
He was in Existence, Memento, The Butterfly Effect. Really, any movie about fucking with your perception of time and space. We also got.
I've got him in one episode of Smallville, one episode of Legends of Tomorrow, and 6 episodes of Jessica Jones. Where he was Dr. Carl Malice, biogeneticist and mad scientist.
And we've also got him in 3 fabulous nights and 2 days in Puerto Penasco.
The casino.
We got Triple H, Paul Triple H Levesque as Jarko Grimwood. He is Triple H, the wrestler.
That's okay. I didn't know. Okay. So I was trying to figure out who he was, and I looked at my wife, and I'm like, is that Evan Stone? And my wife's like, who's Evan Stone? And I was like, obviously you did not watch a shitload of porn in the 90s. I thought he was that porn dude in the 90s with the long hair. And then when I brought up like the Amazon X-ray, it just had his character's name. So I was like, why? Who the fuck is Jacko, whatever his Wazowski or whatever this character's name was?
Jarko Grimwood.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, I thought he was a porn guy from the 90s, which says a lot about
I know
me.
who you're
Yeah, and Josh knows who I'm talking about because we roll like that. We roll real weird.
There was a brief second when I first saw him up close, and then throughout the movie, the way he moved really reminded me of the security guard from Orgazmo.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
The main henchman. Yeah. He was Sabretooth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
In X-Men?
Mm-hmm. Before Leif Schreiber. Yeah.
Wait, Triple H was Sabretooth?
I thought he was. Oh.
I thought he was.
I'm just agreed because I'm the misinformation part of this podcast.
Oh,
I don't think Triple H was Sabretooth.
All right.
No, I think this was his first movie.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's listed as his first movie.
Good for him.
He would later on go to be in, let's see, Inside Out, Scooby-Doo, WrestleMania Mystery, Scooby-Doo and WWE Curse of the Speed Demon, and
I remember
Surf's Up 2, Wave Mania.
He did the voice of the Hulk for the Marvel Experience in 2014.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got Natasha Lyonne as Summerfield, the blind scientist.
The blindest.
The blindest. She was got her. Let's see. She got her start. She did. She was a child actor. She was in Dennis the Menace, Heartburn, Slums of Beverly Hills, Krippendorf's Tribe. Oh God, that fucking movie. Then
Her first credited role was on Pee-wee's Playhouse back in '86.
wow.
I think she did like 6 episodes
Cool.
as Opal. I don't know if anybody remembers who Opal was.
I don't. She probably just one of the random kids, I imagine.
I would think so.
Yeah. She was in American Pie, but I'm a cheerleader. A number of the American Pie movies. Let's see, Kate and Leopold. She's been in Orange is the New Black. Most recently, she was in Russian Doll, which was she wrote a lot of that also.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Amy Poehler.
Yeah. Let's see. Patton Oswalt as Hedges. Patton Oswalt got to start as a stand-up in the 90s. Went on to do a lot of he had a lot of like bit roles and a lot of stuff. He was a writer for Mad TV. He got an HBO special, which kind of put him a little bit on the map, and started doing bad movies. He was in Down Periscope with Kelsey Grammer. He was in an episode of Seinfeld. And then, of course, his big break was voicing the lead character in Remy and Ratatouille. Let's see.
He was also on King of Queens.
Yeah, I guess that was his big break. Yeah.
Sitcoms cement you in a way that puts you in those stupid movies.
Yeah, it does.
Those are the people who, the people who would watch Down Periscope are the people that watch TV.
Which I know half of you aren't into Star Wars, but has anyone seen the full cut of his Star Wars rant from Parks and Rec?
Oh yeah.
It is breathtaking.
He's always been known for his like commentary on Hollywood and pop culture, which is something that's always been interesting to see his kind of behind the scenes view of stuff.
I can't remember.
Well, it's not just a rant that just filibustering goes nowhere. In the whole thing that's unedited, he gets the Star Wars universe, the Marvel universe, and I can't remember what else, but he explains a way that they could all plausibly be combined through the Infinity Stones.
Yes, yeah, it's all about Thanos and Chewbacca. It's awesome.
It is awesome. Like you got a round of applause from the crew and shit.
Yeah, and he was just riffing the entire time. He was just improving it.
Nerd brain.
Yeah. He did anyone? I can't remember what it's called. I didn't watch it, but my wife did, and she said it was great. It was a recent Netflix, possibly Hulu, documentary about his wife.
It was on HBO.
HBO.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
It's intense.
Yeah, it is. And what happened with her was intense. I've seen a couple of his specials where he was that he did immediately after she passed, and Jesus Christ.
I read the book. Yeah, I read her book. Yeah, because I'm a big true crime. I like crime. I love crime. So,
and you have since you were little.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, and that's his new wife, right? After his wife passed away, his new wife is
Meredith Salinger.
Yeah.
No. His late wife was the true crime writer. His new wife is Natty Gann.
Oh, okay.
The Journey of Natty Gann. That's right.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. Let's see.
Can I run through? Are you finished with Patton Oswalt?
You got some more Patton?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Gotta stay happy.
Just yes, happy. It was amazing. The voice of the flying unicorn. Going back in time, he was on the Weird Al show.
Awesome.
He did voices for Batman Beyond, Static Shock. He was Sakurang in Axe Cop.
Axe Cop.
Okay.
It's like Kick Puncher.
Alan Shapiro in Archer.
Cool.
Yeah, you're right.
He had a recurring role as the Space Cabbie in Justice League Action. On Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Return, he was Max, TV's son of TV's Frank.
That's right.
He played the Atom in Teen Titans Go. The Spider-Man series from 2017 to 19, he was the voice of Uncle Ben. He's been on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since the beginning as 5 different Koenig brothers.
Oh my God, that's too many.
And
It's really well done. It's
it
so
is
funny.
really well.
It's made
very...
to confuse and distract.
Wait, what was that one?
And none of them are Walter.
Yeah.
What
show was that?
Checo.
Agents
of Shield.
Okay.
Yeah, he was 5 different agents, and they were all brothers. Actually, no, 4 different agents and one guy who didn't want to be an agent, just to make it ultimately confusing.
Spoiler alert for Marvel movies. He's the reason why they have a helicarrier in Age of Ultron.
Wow.
Yeah.
And very recently, he was the voice of the Deep's Gills on The Boys.
Yes, he was.
Oh,
and,
that was
yeah.
and that was weird. Maybe it's because I loved Happy so much and watched it so much, but it was weird hearing his voice come from the gills.
The singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that let's see. John Michael Higgins played Edgar Vance.
I love that guy.
Yeah, that dude. Wow. He was let's see, National Lampoon's Class of '86, G.I. Jane, Wag the Dog, Bicentennial Man, Best in Show, Mighty Wind, Fun with Dick and Jane, Evan Almighty, Fred Claus. He's a character actor in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I thought this was really funny. He had an uncredited role in The Man Who Wasn't There.
That is ironic.
As an emergency room physician. He did 30 episodes of Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
Right.
And 2 episodes of Batman the Brave and the Bold, and a Scooby-Doo Batman crossover where he was the Riddler in all 3 of those.
Nice. He also played David Letterman in the HBO Late Shift movie from 1996.
Huh.
I didn't know
Weird.
that.
Additionally, we've got Mark Berry as Chief Martin Vreed, Haley Page as Zoe, James Remar as FBI agent Ray Cumberland, Michael Anthony Rollins as FBI agent Wilson Hale, Christopher Heyerdahl, Scott Hindle, Kasky Beto, Paul Anthony, John Ashker, Eric Bogosian, Ron Selmore, Francois
Eric
Yip.
Bogosian. What is he doing there?
No, I don't know.
It was such a wild cameo.
Right?
It's like he had to know somebody involved, right? I mean, he is an actor, but like so specific.
Yeah.
But like 2004, they're like, we need Eric Bogosian.
Yeah.
This shit. Yeah. Somebody call 1987 and grab Eric Bogosian.
You think like Eric Bogosian was like hanging out on set and was like, "Hey, can I be in this?"
Yeah.
He was just hanging out, yeah, like his place, Suburbia.
Yeah. Roger Ebert. I couldn't find a clip. I don't know if he did it on air, but he did write about Blade Trinity. He wrote, "I liked the first 2 Blade movies, although my description of Blade 2 as a really rather brilliant vomitorium of viscera might have sounded like faint praise. The second film was directed by Guillermo del Toro, a gifted horror director with a sure feel for the quease-inducing, and was even better, I thought, than the first. Now comes Blade Trinity, which is a mess. It lacks the sharp narrative line and crisp comic book clarity of the earlier films, and descends too easily into shapeless fight scenes that are chopped into so many cuts that they lack all form or rhythm." The movie has 26% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So that was fair. That's fair, Raj.
Yeah. It's very much like just a movie. Like, I don't know. It's like so mid-tier in every possible way.
It's more of an action film than a comic book movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Roger's right. Yeah.
It's definitely structured like a traditional mid-2000s action movie. 100%.
Yep.
It's also not an end to any trilogy whatsoever.
No.
No.
This was followed up almost immediately by the Blade series.
Was that animated or?
No, it was live action.
Who played Blade in that?
Oh, I forget.
Just like nobody big.
Well, no.
Michael Higgins.
I thought it was Sticky Fingers from Onyx.
Yes, it was.
Oh,
Was it?
Yeah,
Ah,
nice.
that's what it was.
another point for old Jerry there.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's about it. You guys ready to jump into the movie?
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Let's
Scream if this hurts, Chica.
Here we go. This is Blade Trinity. We open on the Syrian desert. A helicopter full of vampires land and enter an ancient tomb.
Sorry. It's just ridiculous.
A helicopter full of vampires in tactical gear.
Yes.
It allows them to be in the sun. And so, the middle finger to the sun. That's classic.
Yeah.
Those of us, desert rats, I've given the finger to the sun before.
Yeah.
They enter an ancient tomb and dig up some ancient armored predator monster thing, which kills some of them.
So they had their own vampire tech nerd. Like every group has to have one.
Right.
And they did too. So it's like, is that why he was turned? For his IT skills?
Yeah. They're turning. They're like, can we turn somebody that can get us some free cable?
They just went to a Best Buy and got one of the Geek Squad members. And, turned him. And also Parker Posey, she took her helmet off, and I just looked at because Megan watched this with me, and I was like, ooh, tactical eyeliner. She's got that tactical eyeliner.
Right. Always on point. She's like, it's the cradle of civilization, dumbass. Like that was
put eyeliner on.
Yeah, she's like squirting like ketchup and mustard in the air, like squirm, you piggies.
Exactly.
Same fucking character. I like to think it's literally the same character.
Literally.
She was turned in 1978.
That would be great. Well, and Triple H is the vampire character that's, not believing anything that's going on.
Yeah.
It's all the ancient writings bullshit to him.
Mm-hmm.
What they're doing there. Yeah.
Listen, call me your skeptical vampire, but I don't believe in all this mumbo jumbo.
If you saw that dude as the bouncer at a club, would you be like, I got to make that guy immortal?
Right. Then we cut to a modern city. Big question, guys. What city is Blade Trinity set in?
Columbus.
Is it set in? I thought they filmed it in Vancouver, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's pretty clearly Vancouver. But
is it? Okay, everything to me is Vancouver.
But I don't think it's set in Vancouver. I don't think it's set anywhere in particular. They never mentioned the city. There's no real landmark shown. It's just city.
The city.
Yeah.
I called it Esperanto City.
Ah.
There's another Esperanto reference in this movie.
Several, yeah.
Huh.
The police station they have they have police station underneath English written out in Esperanto.
Huh.
Oh, I was wondering what that was.
So in Goyer, maybe it's like an alternate future kind of thing.
Interesting.
No, I don't know what city. I thought New York a couple times, and then I thought LA a couple times.
I thought LA, New York, Chicago, Detroit. It could be anywhere. It really is just city.
I thought I didn't care.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Matter. Ultimately, yes.
No, it doesn't affect like Catwoman. It didn't affect the story.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. So a warehouse blows up. A bunch of vampires run out, followed by Blade. He kills some more. Some escape in a car. He gives chase, and there's some semi-truck Knight Rider style shenanigans. He chases them down, causing the car to crash. There's one left.
He's got a sweet new silver dagger on a chain.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, actually.
Silver daggers.
Silver daggers.
The silver daggers.
Silver dagger. Dude. Yeah.
And people are like, he's got a gun. That guy's Blade. So I know they don't know him. I didn't realize that.
The plan where he jumps off of the overpass and lands on top of the truck. I don't know. Christopherson's like headed westbound towards you. It's just such a shitty plan. Like, why didn't Christoph? I mean, of course it's Blade, but he's just like, yo, can you come get me? Like, why does he have to jump off of an overpass and land?
If I'm not mistaken, Chris Christopherson was in the 70s movie Convoy. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right, so he's already experienced.
Yeah, he knows how to drive a semi. Yeah. And he's used to vampire guys jumping on top of him because of, A Star is Born. So there's one baddie left alive after the car crashes. And Blade stakes him, but the vamp doesn't die right away. Blade is confused. It turns out he's a human with fake vampire teeth. So he was wearing that the whole time, even though Blade couldn't see his face. The fake vampire teeth.
Blade took him down from a little bit of a distance. Yeah.
Well, and he was wearing them like in the car. He ran out of the warehouse. He had his fake teeth on.
I mean, like, yeah, Blade killed that dude without verifying anything.
He must have seen his teeth back at the warehouse before he blew it up.
Right.
Like, smashed.
Yeah. Well, and okay, but he's killed over 1,000 human familiars. We learn later on, but
Yeah.
like this particular one, he's like, oh shit,
Going down. He's the
You're
governor.
getting sloppy, Blade. You're getting sloppy, Blade. I'm gonna have to pull your badge and your gun, Blade.
I'm tired of explaining to
so
the
public.
DA.
I was just saying because this killing was so public.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people watching. And the dude before he dies, he's like, "We set you up,"
Yeah.
and they've got someone filming off in the distance.
And
Yeah. But Blade killed that dude. You know, he just assumed he was a vampire.
Yeah.
They're like, fundamentally, still guilty of what they're accusing him of.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, but yeah, we set you up, Blade. Here's a suitcase full of coke.
Yeah, exactly. It's not mine. I love that Chris Christopherson. Like, first thing he said, he's like, you better hope nobody ID'd you.
Right.
Like, so someone that happened to know who Blade was.
Right.
Otherwise, I don't think he has an alias or an alter ego.
Yeah. You know,
Ruben Blades.
Ruben.
Ruben Blades.
Ruben Bladestein.
I don't think he has a day job.
Let's see. So, it turns out he's a human with fake vampire teeth. The cops show up. And also, the lead vampire lady, Danica Talos from the Tomb Raid at the beginning, is filming him. She does her shit. She makes sure she does all of her own film work because she has the eye for it. Blade flees the scene. And then
she took filmography or cinematography in community college.
Right.
Yeah.
Community vampire college.
Right before she was
Well,
community vampire
But
college.
it had to be night school though.
Yep.
well, yeah, no, and clearly she's taken some course because we see her like with it on the computer and using Pro Tool or Apple Pro Tools to edit it.
To edit it.
Yeah.
She also makes skate videos of her friends.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she uploads it to the internet or something. Then Blade goes home. Whistler tells him that he's getting sloppy and gives him the new serum inhaler.
But Whistler had to slump by that car with the two cops in it, staking him out. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like the shot sort of has Whistler walking into the left of frame and walking totally by, and there's that cop car with the two of them sitting in it, talking shit, about Blade and all that stuff.
Oh
Just
yeah,
blocking the alley.
Yeah, no.
There was a moment when Whistler walked by. Maybe he didn't look at the cops, but they were within the earshot of each other.
Yeah, no.
That's why I thought of stakeout.
when he was out buying the paper.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Which was the Weekly World Bulletin.
The Weekly
like,
World.
Bat Boy is Blade.
Yeah, no, that's totally like that movie thing. If you're out of frame when the character walks by, they do not see you.
Yeah, you don't exist.
So let's see. Gives him the new serum inhaler. Then meanwhile, the FBI are getting ready to take down Blade. Danica talks to Mr. Badass Predator Vamp that they detombed, and he says modern vampires suck. And she's all like, "Hey, do you want to kill Blade for us?"
He's like, "Sure."
Why not?
And she's like, "Whatever."
Well, what's funny is that like he's like, "There's a new enemy," and she turns to him and she's like, "Blade." Like that means something to him.
He's just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm Drake.
And he's like, "Spoon."
So before he shapeshifts into Dominic Purcell, he's got like the Del Toro Predator vamp face.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting choice, I guess.
Well, I like the way they sort of explain it is that, he's kind of like a great white shark he didn't have to evolve. Really, he didn't have to adapt since
he was the
Apex.
ultimate predator and anything else.
But also, evolution doesn't happen in one single entity. It happens.
Yeah.
So vampires clearly did evolve.
I know, I understand what you're saying, but that he was the apex predator.
Yeah.
And he wasn't prone to the, other vulnerabilities that other vampires.
Right. And
So
I
they
would
devolved,
imagine that the Del Toro vampires that we saw in Blade 2, that was like part of a blood anomaly or something like that. I guess there was experimentation involved with vampire genetics.
There was, yeah.
So it would make sense that that DNA, excuse me, that DNA was existing in the first vampire already, and as the vampires through the ages, that went away until they started experimenting with the genetics.
Ironically, the firm that created the vampires that were genetically altered later on sued Drake for having that blood, much like Monsanto.
Yeah, it's true. They copyrighted it.
Yeah.
Trademark.
So, all right. On TV, there's a pop psychiatrist and the chief of police discussing Blade.
So there's a psychologist who wrote a book on biology and the chief of police on Eric Bogosian's talk show.
Yeah. And they're and he's all like, "So, Princess Di, do you think she was murdered?"
Wrong.
So and Blade's watching the show. So he goes home and he's like, "Let's see what they said about me."
Like
Or
Charlie
he just
Rose.
watches it regularly. Like he's just I'm down for babbling with Bogosian.
Babbling with Bogosian.
Sunday nights. Tonight he's got a Howard Stern and a TV repairman.
Bentley Tittle Live is his jam.
Yeah.
He's like, but I refuse to watch Lee Dobbs. Whistler?
But I always watch Wolf Blitzer.
I just call him Wolf. He calls me Blade. It's a thing. We're the one name guys. Whistler gets home and tells Blade they're too public now. And then he apologizes for being old.
Sorry.
Yeah. He tells them they need some more friends to help. Meanwhile, a group of street vamps try to prey on a vulnerable young girl with a fake baby.
Again, who turned to these vampires?
Right.
Who looks at a pack of 8th graders and is like, let's give them power untold.
Right. Well, no, and they're all like, "Warrior!"
Like, chicky.
This whole thing reads like a Stefan sketch from Saturday Night Live. He's like, it's the new thing. Blade Trinity. We got Dracula. Vampires on skateboards. Like tactical eyeliner, a strobe light.
We have a human silver bullet. That's that thing where a little person gets in a garbage can. You throw it. Yeah, Stefan, for sure.
So, but the girl they're after turns out to be Jessica Biel. And she's all tough and hits him with the knife shoe and the light scimitar.
Yeah.
Pulling out the old knife shoe.
Yeah, and fake baby.
Yeah, the one who's like, "Fake baby, oh no."
It's all combo meal.
It reminded me of that the traditional Klingon fighting blade from Star Trek, whatever that was called.
Yeah, but like a lightsaber version of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that night, the FBI conducts a no-knock raid on Blade's hideout.
It's the wrong Blade.
This is not Reuben Blades.
That's what you're after.
You're looking
Peter Blade.
Peter Bladestein.
Look,
I'm sorry, doubling down on that joke. Yeah, so Whistler manages to destroy all their kitty porn, but they do kill him and capture Blade. All the files, all the computer files.
He dies off screen again too. So I wonder if they ever did a 5th Blade, which if he'd come back again, because didn't he die off screen in the first one?
Yes,
too?
he did.
Yes, he did.
Dying off screen.
He just toys with our emotions.
He just murders so many cops. like with a shotgun. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so many policemen.
No, that's what I was just thinking the whole time. He is just murdering FBI agents left and right.
He's like,
When you
Blade,
ain't got
get
nothing.
sloppy. I'm gonna shotgun all these cops.
You got nothing to lose.
Got nothing to
Nothing
lose.
ain't
It's
worth
like
nothing.
freedom's just another word.
Yeah. I'm already past that line.
Yeah, I know. All right, so Blade is taken into custody by the FBI. He's strapped to a chair in an interrogation room when Dr. Vance shows up. And he and the chief of police are like, FBI, get out of here. We're in charge
We don't
now."
need a female body inspector.
And they have him ordered to be moved to a psychiatric institute, but it's all a big ruse. They drug him and reveal themselves to be vampire familiars.
Yep.
Danica and her.
They should have put him in one of them tubes like they did Simon Phoenix.
Yeah.
Crime tubes. No, justice tubes.
Justice tubes. Danica and a crew of vamps show up pretending to be cops there to move him. And then Hannibal King bursts through the glass partition, wakes Blade up with an inhaler of serum, and they fight their way out, picking up the girl with the knife shoes on the way. Wasn't that the sequel to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? She's also good with a bow.
It's the girl with the dolphin tattoo. Just as disgusting a story.
Yeah. They escape the vamps and the police, make their way back to the secret base. Girl's revealed to be Abigail Whistler, Whistler's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
They meet the rest of the crew, including tech guy, driver, and blind scientist lady with a daughter.
With the kid.
Yeah.
To jump back real quick to their escape from the police station, Blade takes off on him, goes up through the ductwork, and disappears. So they have to fight their way out. But I thought it was a clever and funny moment when they're running through the lobby and they've got the theme from the summer place, like playing in the background as they exit the building.
Yeah, all of the techno music cuts out and we get diegetic, like elevator music. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny that they're going out. Their planning includes going out the front door.
Yeah.
Which became kind of a trope, didn't it? After, or I wonder if it was already a trope with the fight scene, and then they go into the elevator, and
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This was kind of
Something
the area
bucolic.
where I feel like this was the era when it was starting to become a trope.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was another funny thing too before the doctor reveals that he's a familiar or whatever, but the cops are asking Blade questions to glean whether or not he's, psychologically there. And they're like, "Who's in the White House?" He's like, "An asshole."
An asshole. Yeah. That
It's great because they turn around and be like, "Damn, how did he know that?"
Is an asshole.
Which
right.
immediately makes this movie timeless. It could be
Can be
any
anyone.
era.
Yeah.
It could be William Henry Harrison. It could be Gerald Ford.
Could be Taft.
It could be Taft.
Chester A. Arthur.
I thought the "Hello, my name is" tag was a funny touch. That made me laugh out loud when he fell through, and it was just like, "Hello, my name is fuck you," and I just chuckled like, "That's pretty funny, actually."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's I don't know, the second beat of that joke, because the baby doll had "fuck you" written on it.
Yep.
Before it, and then
This is your grandma's Blade.
So we find out they call themselves the Night Stalkers. They're vampire hunters. Blade is resistant to joining them at first, but Hannibal reveals he used to be a vampire.
Yeah.
Then, meanwhile, at Vamp headquarters, which appears to be an old Silicon Valley startup that was abandoned, Danica is pissed at what happened, and big bad old Vamp decides that he's going to take some action.
It is like a start. I wrote that down later on. Yeah, it's like Google. Like they just showed up to the Google offices.
It'd be like, yeah, it's open
and turned
space.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's open space. Paintings, just yeah.
Everything's glass and chrome.
And then you see the vamps coming at them at the end, and the first wave are a bunch of tech dudes, essentially. Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Be like, sure, we're vampires, but we're also working on an app which allows you.
I gotta double back just for a second. Double back to when you said that Van Wilder said he was a vampire, and I just thought it was so funny that someone has to take their pants off to prove to you they're a vampire.
Yeah.
Like we're just hanging out, and I just start taking my pants off, and you're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's cool. I'm a vampire. I used to be a vampire."
Don't worry about it.
He pulled his waistband down just a little too low.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love that, like, vampires aren't circumcised, but their
Yeah.
foreskin looks like that predator mouth.
Oh, God.
It opens up. Teeth.
Told you I was a vampire.
Told you.
Let's see. Back at the Night Stalkers, Hannibal reveals that Danica is his ex. She turned him into a vampire, and he was turned back by the Night Stalkers. They tell Blade that the big bad old vamp is actually Dracula, and he's the first vampire. He's the hipster vampire.
Yeah.
He was
I
doing
did
it before
it was cool.
Well, and Hannibal was dating her, and then she turned him. So that means he was dating her, and she was a vamp. I wonder how long into the relationship.
Yeah, when's
found
the
out
appropriate
before she
time in the
wasn't-
relationship to reveal that about yourself?
That you're a vampire.
2 dates?
Oh, well, what? I thought you were going to say you grew up Jehovah's Witness or something. You're a vampire.
That's much
And-
better.
It's worse than Scientology.
Throughout this movie, she has the vampire mouth the entire time.
My God, and she's lisping the
She has
whole
vampire
time. The entire
very
time
good.
she's talking like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It somehow worked for Parker Posey to make her more menacing. But when Hannibal King met her, she probably looked just like that.
Right.
It's like, no, this is my girl.
Yeah.
He just thought she was goth.
Yeah, to the extreme.
This is the future ex Mrs. Hannibal King.
Edgy. Hey, so Triple H had, like, he couldn't have had silver, so they were metallic. What kind of fangs did he have that were
Stainless steel.
stainless steel?
Gum
So-
wrapper.
Did his vampire teeth fall
They're
out? or he
aluminum
just-
teeth. Aluminum foil.
I just got the adamantium up here.
Maybe titanium. At any rate, yeah, I guess he got his teeth knocked out at some point, so he had to get stainless steel implants or something.
Yeah. I'll buy it.
So
He was not a fan of brushing and flossing.
yeah, that's what happens, kids. So meanwhile, Dracula busts up a hot topic, and
that whole thing.
oh my God. Well, and he didn't like there was.
Oh, yeah.
He just busted it up. He didn't like get anything from there. He didn't walk out with one of the dildos or anything. He didn't go
No.
for any purpose other than to fuck with them.
That
That
dude was
vampire-
so rude, man. That Hot
Yeah.
Topic guy. He was rude
He's
as
an
hell.
asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Well, and I'm sorry, but the vampire vibrator looked like Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had the same little hairdo. It's supposed to be Drake or Dracula, but yeah, had the widow's peak and yeah.
It was the
So,
weirdest vibrator too.
Yeah.
The whole store, it looks like they only sold vampire merchandise, and Dracula just felt disrespected by his name being used in such ways, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, this is not
that and they were-
officially licensed.
Right. He's like, I'll do ads for premium vodkas, but this is ridiculous.
And those two kids were completely douchey to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be happier for being able to have like storefront New York City. Oh, we don't know the city.
Right. In,
Well,
Calgary,
Toronto.
Yeah, it's a prime business spot. I'm sure.
Boise. The Night Stalkers talk about the vampire plans. Hannibal says they have a vampire final solution, but they don't know what it is. Blind scientist tells them that they've developed a vampire virus that will kill all the vampires immediately, but they need Dracula's blood to make it work. They also reveal Dracula's a shapeshifter.
Yeah,
His
which we
tiny
knew.
bones.
They think.
They think,
They
yes.
think.
Blade, Abigail, and Hannibal head out, and we get a montage of them beating up familiars in a quest for
So-
information.
So maybe it's a. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
uh,
Al.
Hedge, the scene where Hedges is doing his kind of Q bit, showing off the new weaponry. They explain the sun dogs, the The bullets with the explosive rounds of UV light. And then King shows off his triple barrel overcompensator and mocks Blade's sword. And then they explain the UV arc that Abby had used earlier.
Yeah, it's a cool weapons.
It is. And that's the point where we get the line where he says, "Have you ever been lady?" He says, "Yes, many times by ladies."
Yeah.
By
that
ladies.
scene.
Which I feel is a Patton Oswalt like improv bit.
Yeah, probably. He's like, "Yes, I have." You asshole. You Van Wilder looking. I love that Drake is from so many centuries before, and he's woken up and he's new to our world and could do whatever he chooses, but he still dresses like these weird underground club vampires that we've talked about over and over again about. There's a certain uniform. Like, nobody can wear poppin' colors or, speak for themselves. He's like, I need leather pants. I need a medallion.
Yeah. I love the fact that
I need a shirt with buttons, but doesn't button.
Yeah. I love the fact that, he dresses like he's runs like a fencing operation. Like he's like a Syrian gangster that runs a fencing operation and speaks perfect inflectionless English.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That he goes to underground parties and clubs.
Yeah. All right. So they eventually led to Dr. Vance's office where they discover Dracula pretending to be Vance. Dracula.
Yeah.
It's Dracula. Dracula fucks up Hannibal and flees, and Blade chases him. They have a little chat on the rooftop. Where
I like the dude that was doing some home recording.
Oh,
you guys notice him with the guitar?
Yeah.
And, he's just there on his couch.
Yeah.
Got some equipment around him.
Yeah. My note on this scene was chasing and chasing and chasing.
And baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, lots of shoving and just punching randos. I love. I always love the just you're in my way, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Just yeah.
It's
I
like
just love that shit.
I can't remember which one, but there's one where one of the bad guys grabs a woman, and throws her at the assailant. But one of the best is in Point Break when Patrick Swayze throws a Rottweiler at Keanu Reeves. It's amazing.
Oh, it's great. Oh, so much punching.
So much jumping and
rando punch. Like, you're just walking to get a bagel and you just get blindsided by Dracula. The fuck is the world?
And your bagel lands cream cheese side down.
You're like, man, that's the worst thing that's happened to me today.
Hashtag Mondays.
Dracula hates Mondays. So Dracula reveals on the rooftop that the vamps brought him back so they can become daywalkers. Then Dracula gets away because he throws a baby at Blade.
And he yells catch. He yells catch. He throws the baby and yells, I thought he yelled catch. Cat. And then
ball played baby grenade. Come on.
Hot baby. Ooh, hot baby.
Also, I know there was a fake baby earlier, and then there was a clearly fake baby. Now it's a real baby.
Yeah, there was a lot of baby throwing in this movie, more than I was perhaps ready for.
More children used than I expected.
Back at the secret hideout, Hannibal is bedridden with his wounds. Blade spends some time bonding with Blind Lady Kid, and Blind Lady reveals she's discovered a secret vampire lab.
Hold on one sec. Al, do you know the movie that was playing in Hannibal's room?
Oh, I forgot to write it down, but it was a William Shatner flick that was the whole dialogue was in Esperanto.
Yeah, it's called Incubus.
Incubus, that's right.
The only movie that's completely in Esperanto, yeah.
And it stars William Shatner. Wow.
The Shat from 72.
72. So that in his like van driving around days between the series and the movies.
Yep.
So Blade and Abigail head out to the vampire lab where they find the police chief familiar guy. They discover the lab is a blood harvesting facility full of rows of shrink-wrapped humans. They're mostly homeless. It's the vampire final solution. They kill the police chief and the lady technician there. They're like, he asks her the password and then tells her to put it in. Did you need her to tell her?
Well, they don't fuck with computers. He's a boomer. He doesn't know how computers work.
That's right. So, am I on?
He's
Facebook?
talking into the mouse.
Yeah.
Talking into the mouse, exactly.
He's like, I think I accidentally posted Stop Vampire Final Solution to my Facebook page.
I need my meds. I'm twittering again.
Online casino pop-ups. Like the minute he just enters the password.
Asian poker sites.
He's like, Whistler, I have to send my bank account information to this nice young man. He needs some help.
He's Nigerian.
He's Nigerian, and he's gonna get out of this spot.
But yeah, the lady technician just shuts everything down. Like, okay, if you say so, Blade. I definitely wasn't trained by vampires for a situation similar to this.
And he didn't kill her either, right? He just let her go.
Yeah, he just leaves.
Good luck.
So, yeah, it's like, get that postgraduate degree, vampire. You can do it.
Be better.
Be better. Be better.
Is that a plastic straw? You are monsters. Meanwhile, back at the secret base, Dracula shows up looking like Whistler and kills everybody.
How does he know what Whistler looks like?
Right?
Are we to believe that in their like warehouse underground tech base, there are framed pictures of them?
Of Whistler. And then, but this, how does he know what Whistler looks like? Why would he look like Whistler? Because he just shows up and kills everybody. He's not trying to be sneaky. Because everyone.
Whistler died at the hands of the FBI or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or in that shootout.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure.
See his daughter too, right?
No.
Like there's no emotional impact.
He does
of him
appear
being
to his
Whistler.
daughter, yeah.
Yeah, but no, his daughter isn't even there. She's off with Blade. So, like, why is he Whistler?
I'm pretty sure that Drake extrapolated Whistler's appearance from a small chunk of his armor.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you're right.
Oh, God.
I forgot that line was so thrown away, too.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
This tiny
that's
little
ridiculous.
piece, I can show you everything. Don't ask.
Whistler's like, he touched a piece of my armor. And so therefore I know what he looks like, and I'm going to look like him to show up and kill everybody.
He found his leg brace back at the blown up warehouse. And that was all he needed.
That was all.
I thought it was his MySpace page. Whistler's MySpace page.
Whistler's MySpace page. Drake's favorite album is Sunday Morning.
It was his live journal.
And the picture's just taken of him like right at eye level in a truck with sunglasses on, like
it says like rednecks for Biden.
Just looking serious.
I'm totally gonna go see if Chris Christopherson has a Facebook page now.
Yeah.
So all right, he takes the little girl and Hannibal captive. So Blade and Abigail arrive back. They discover the carnage. And the vamps.
They straight up killed a blind lady in this movie.
Yeah. Also, why did they put the blind lady in charge of the surveillance cameras? That was kind of counterproductive. They're just in the middle of a vampire war, and they're like, "Hey, let's play a little one-on-one there, and we'll just put old blind lady in charge of the fucking CCTV."
Codename Peepers.
Yeah, Peepers. Peepers is on the job.
She'll keep an eye on it. I'm kidding. She won't.
Because she's blind.
And she kept opening tabs on her computer to show you shit. But I don't know.
The braille on car control.
Yeah.
I found Chris Christopherson's Facebook page.
Oh, shit.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
That's his profile photo.
The gambler.
Just
Wait,
whistling.
no.
Just whistling in the dark. Yeah.
That's his, what do they call that other photo that's on the
banner?
Throwback?
The banner. Yeah, it's his banner photo.
Throwback. Right.
We know you don't look like that anymore.
He's like, feeling cute.
Yeah. Exactly. Chris Christopherson poked you.
Barbara Streisand's like, he did.
You now need a tetanus shot.
Yeah, you now need a tetanus shot.
All right.
Oh my god.
So the vamps are pumping Hannibal for information. He's in full Deadpool mode. They want to know what the weapon that Blade's planning is. Danica threatens to turn him back into a vampire and feed the little girl to him if he won't talk. But they don't do that. They just hold off.
They have a very run-of-the-mill interrogation scene. Like, if you took the vampire aspect out of it, yeah.
They're just punching him
Just
a lot.
like yeah, just a crime-type movie. Like, where is the body? They're getting nowhere because the guy won't say anything. But, yeah.
Right. So, like, rather than threaten to turn him into a vampire, just turn him into a fucking vampire. He'd tell you immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they just
It's
wanted
not
to kick him
admissible.
some more.
Yeah, probably that. But anything he says otherwise is not admissible in vampire court. So you have to.
They have to
Got
do
to
it
be
by
on the up and up
They have to do it by the book.
by the book. Yes.
Fridays
The
on
vampire
TV
book.
and Vampire Court.
Vampire court, exactly. It's like People's Court.
Vampire court.
Dun dun dun.
It's got to be Night Court.
Yeah.
Like Judge Dracula, the plaintiff, promised to deliver a sofa to my apartment, and he never showed up.
Yep. This is the case of Sunday, Bloody Sunday on People's Court.
The plaintiff.
Meanwhile,
A vampire.
Meanwhile, Blade and Abigail are found by some European vampire hunter guy.
Yeah.
His name was Calder, and this was Christopher Heyerdahl, the actor who we just saw back in Catwoman.
Who was he in Catwoman?
He was the rocker neighbor.
Oh, okay.
That had a club / apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he takes him back to his secret base where he shows him a video made by the blind scientist lady.
Okay, the whole movie would have been 100 times better if they went for this joke and had her facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, dude.
Just the back of her head while she gives all these instructions. I gotta mute my.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So this is her if you're watching this, I'm already dead video.
Right.
Yeah.
Wherein
Whichever gets made, right? We've all made.
wherein she tells them to take care of Zoe, and then tells them where in the Oz book series they're in.
Right.
Yeah.
We just started this one with the Gnome King. So does she have to re-record this video every night?
Oh, yes, I was going to say that. Every
to
day.
let them know where to
Yeah.
I don't know, where to
How far along in the book
to keep
you
them up on Zoe's reading
Well, yeah.
schedule.
Well, yeah, and plus she gives them up-to-date information on like the vampire serum formula thing. So yeah, she has to record it. If you've seen this, I'm already dead video every day.
If I'm seeing this, a miracle has happened.
Yeah, exactly. I love her recording every day, and just Josh's concept of her just facing a different direction each time, or the camera's just facing the ceiling, or like just auto-focusing on her shoulder or something.
She's like, yesterday I tried to record this with the toaster, so I'm
getting better.
Yeah. All right. So she tells them that all right, so they have a single vial of the virus, and Euro guy put it in an arrowhead.
Well, and she says, like, great movie made up jargon. She's like, we need to interfuse it with Drake's blood.
Mm-hmm.
Interfuse.
Yeah.
That's known as mixing to you and me, kids.
Interfuse. Yeah.
So the dose that he made, he said that it could be used in the gun, in like the big rifle, or on an arrow, and they decide to put it on an arrow.
Yeah.
Or if you put it in a half a gallon of juice, you and your friends will be tripping for the whole music festival.
Toss a Jolly Rancher in the bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a daywalker. I've said that.
There's all right, yeah, and there's only enough for one shot, and it might kill Blade too. So Blade and Abigail mount up and head out to Vampire HQ.
There was the scene where Drake tried to tempt Zoe into becoming a vampire child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my oh my god, this is the best line of the movie. When she, at the end of that scene, when she calmly looks at him and says, "My friends are coming to kill you."
that little girl is hardcore as fuck.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Also, they were pushing for the iPod thing a lot too, right? The whole playlist,
Oh my God.
like
Yeah.
iPod, and there's like Jurassic 5 was on it, which sounds like weird fighting music. I love Jurassic 5, but it's
Right?
old school kind of hip hop style, and they're just fighting to this bouncy hip hop. This is
Or
weird.
like
to me.
Stay Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then every now and then one of her dad's songs comes on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, this movie was absolutely brought to you by iTunes and GM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Hannibal, meanwhile, still being beaten up when Blade and Abigail arrive. They bust him out, and we get the big end of the movie fight. They kill all the red shirt vamps, and Hannibal kills
That
the
are young white males, most of them.
Yeah,
like I
right.
said, they
And one
look
lady.
like the kids from Silicon Valley. Yeah, and one lady. That's right.
Well, you know, that's the thing about vampire society is that it's still really heterogeneous.
There was a
Homogeneous.
long-haired Asian in there.
Yeah. I just saw a lot of guys in, like corduroy type pants, button-up shirts that weren't buttoned up all the way. Go back and look.
No one knows how to use buttons.
Go back and look. Go
It's just
back.
like the Crow movies or several movies
Yeah.
we've had. Not only is there like a bad guy meeting or but they always have offices in giant towers where
Yeah.
I would presume so do they, to keep their vamp cover, do they do vamp business?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's separate. You know
I would
what I mean?
assume
Like,
so, yeah. That
creating
all,
apps and-
all the floors underneath are filled with like accountants and like graphic designers.
Right, the
Right.
corporate offices of Carl's Jr. or something,
They're
and
the
then
dudes-
it vamps.
the dudes who made the Game of Thrones Candy Crush app. That's what they do. It's like
Do you have one of those blood farms? No, there's a Merrill Lynch office right below
Right
us.
down-
We just go
yeah.
right down there.
they let us use their
Essentially the
water
same
cooler.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's see. They killed the vampire dogs. And
Oh, jeez.
and Triple H. Then Blade and
This was, I don't know. I guess this got the biggest laugh from me in the movie. Like, I barely chuckled at all of Ryan Reynolds' lines.
Yeah.
But with the vampire dogs, Pac-Man, the vampire Pomeranian,
Yeah.
and then the two vampire Rottweilers.
Yeah.
When he tricks them into crashing through the window into the street below, and then he's walking, he turns around to flip them off and trips backward back into the cell that he just
Yep.
got out of.
Mhm.
Yeah, that I belly laughed at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's just full on Deadpool shtick.
Yeah.
So let's see. Dracula and Blade have a sword fight, and Dracula turns into his final form, which is a cross between Tim Curry and Legend and the Predator. And then finally, Abigail tries to shoot the arrow of virus into Dracula. She doesn't make it, so Blade just jams it into him.
Those two dudes sword fighting were like two neckbeards from the sword shop in the mall.
Yeah.
Like it was two different type of sword nerds fighting in a parking lot. You had like the vampire hunter sword nerd, and then like the weird techno goth sword nerd fight.
Technogoth, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fighting at the Red Lobster, just fucking just getting
Waving
down.
at the Red Lobster, just waving their
And
sword.
Blade with his weird like red spandex like shirt that was
Yes.
on underneath. I kept wondering, is he not buff anymore? Has he tried to cover that up?
This is a Helly Hansen, like
And-
one of those TJ Maxx workout shirts.
Oh yeah. He's doing typo
He's-
videos.
He just decided to accent his wardrobe.
He was a little chilly.
He's
I'm tired of
trying
all
to
black.
accessorize.
A little pop of color, you know.
Yeah, a little something. He's all. I don't have to be a vampire like them.
No.
I can be my own vampire.
Yeah.
So, all right. So vampire.
So wait a minute. Can human beings breathe silver, and that's okay for them?
Yeah, it's
good
fine.
question.
It's okay. Fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
Doesn't
Don't worry
doesn't
about
build up in the lungs. Oh, okay. All right.
Don't
No
look at
problem
it. It's fine.
whatsoever.
Yeah. Don't worry about
Uh,
it. Also,
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
there was never any conflict with the end when all the vampires were dying from this thing. Blade didn't affect him in any way, and I thought it would have been interesting to have it kind of affect him a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It didn't
Yeah.
at all. He was just asleep.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
It just made him drowsy.
Yeah.
But in a lot of vampire lore, if you kill the head vampire, you do something to the head vampire, there is a repercussion. That's a good point. They didn't do that with Dracula. I'm sorry, Drake. Recording artist
Dracula. Recording artist Drake.
Dracula.
Dracula. The new movie.
Drake was also in a Canadian teen
It was in Degrassi.
soap opera,
Yeah.
just like Van Wilder.
From what I understand, Drake is also into Canadian teens. So,
Yeah,
Uh,
this
Yeah.
goes
That's
all
what
the
I'll-
way to the top. Vampire Gate.
saying in all the rags. It's in all the rags.
uh,
All of them.
so yeah, Dracula falls down dying. The virus spread, kills all the vamps in the building. Does it kill all the vampires in the world after that, or just
That
these
was my
vampires?
question.
Well, we were just talking. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't know. They were talking earlier like that's what they were aiming for, but when she made the video, she just said it would kill all the vampires in the immediate vicinity.
Which makes sense because how far can this little because we see the platelets flying around.
Well,
The
and
patented Marvel like animated body.
well, and
works.
this virus could spread, but all the vampires are definitely going to all wear masks after this,
Right.
The
Maybe.
smart ones.
Maybe.
except for the
Triple H, he's
vampires
going to
that
Sturgis.
the vampires that are like virus conspiracy hashtag mask free.
Anti-vaxxers. Very vulgar vampires.
The vampires that like show up at the vampire raves aren't wearing masks are like, I know my rights.
Like the blood fountain's gonna come on, and that's cool. The blood sprinkler, I mean. But wear a mask at this vampire rave.
You're taking away my vampire freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Hypoxia, damn it. Hypoxia.
So Dracula taunts Blade one last time, then he dies. The FBI shows up to clean up the mess. They find Blade's corpse, but it turns out to be a shapeshifted Dracula.
Yeah. They're like, oh no, he has a case of white guy.
Why did he do that? Why did Dracula turn into Blade?
So his dying words were, "You fought with honor. I respect that. Allow me a parting gift."
Oh, okay. I thought the parting gift were his words, and I was like, that's a cheap ass parting gift. If he's just like, you're always gonna be a vampire, and then dies,
It's
I didn't
like-
realize
it's
it
like
was
when
that.
Mike
He was like,
Tyson-
I'll get you off the hook with the feds.
Yeah.
so acclimated to our time.
And he was only around for like a week.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that he knows secrets that humans don't know, but yeah, he had to catch up on the present time. He's like, tell me about leather pants again.
I don't think the FBI know of Drake's existence. So when they find him, they can hypothesize, oh, Blade was this guy all along, because they declared him like legally dead or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like Darth Vader. They remove his helmet, and he's just this little bald white guy.
So do you think at that point they were like, wow, talk about cultural appropriation, dude?
Oh,
Cancel.
yeah, murder may have been your
Cancel,
worst
yeah.
crime, but your
Not
first
cool.
crime.
So yeah, then Hannibal does some voiceover as Blade rides a motorcycle into the night. Roll credits.
And then there was a post-credit scene.
Yeah, there was a tiny stinger. A little tiny one.
Yep.
A very
Blade.
pointless
Yeah.
credit scene.
So pointless. Blade just driving away in a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. He's just driving his car at night. Just, I guess he's on the hunt again.
Yeah, is that what it? Yeah, or he's retiring. I couldn't
He's
tell.
retired.
Which they already showed at the beginning of the credits when he drove
Right.
off on his motorcycle.
Yeah, so he just traded vehicles.
Well,
Yeah.
what was the car at the end? Did they make sure you knew it was a GM, a GMC?
I don't know.
Because
I don't think so. I
like
think
a
it was all.
Suburban.
I think it was windshield to side
Okay.
window shot.
Yeah,
I
they
remember.
didn't show any emblems.
Because
Yeah.
they made sure you saw a lot of GMC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stinger was pointless. This whole movie was a mess.
It was.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't awful, but it was like
No.
just meh. This is a movie.
It also did that thing during the credits where they show you clips from the movie you just saw.
Yeah.
Right?
Like they're just
Yeah.
like, remember that part? That was cool, wasn't it?
You're like, good times, guys. Good times.
We've had a lot of scrapes and adventures, gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was watchable, but it's not. Now, especially now that I know how not into it Blade was, because I think certainly in the first one and somewhat in the second, but definitely the first one, Wesley Snipes was into it. He
Yeah.
was excited
Yeah.
to play Blade.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
definitely.
now I can see, that he was.
He looked a little bored throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh God, he seemed so bored. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, especially knowing that half of those shots was his face pasted on some random stunt guy.
Yeah. Well, I imagine you're right. The IRS was probably on him, and he was like, "Fuck, I got to do this stupid movie for free because I got to give all this money to the IRS."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
why'd
right.
they tell me taxes were optional?
That's his accountant. It's like,
Yeah,
we don't
what is
have
accountant?
to do it. That's the thing.
You can choose
That's the
not
beauty.
to.
What if his accountant was a vampire and was trying to fuck him over?
Oh,
That's
no.
pretty meta. It's pretty meta. Vampire accountant.
There
Yeah.
Vampire Captain Sydney Applebaum.
Sydney.
Vampire accountant. Coming this summer on the WB.
This movie's just showing me that if you
joke. I
put
didn't realize it until just.
what's that?
That's the
Yeah.
step on. He's talking about
Vampire.
Black Dracula, Blackula. He's like, there's a Jewish vampire too. Do you want to know what his name is? Sure. Sydney Applebaum. Blackula.
If you put vampire in front of anything, it's funny. That's all I've learned. If you just put vampire in front of anything, it's hilarious. Just
Yeah. Vampire Pomeranian.
vampire skateboarder, vampire baby,
Vampire,
baby.
vampire,
baby.
vampire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Actually, sorry to be this guy, but that's another great bit on What We Do in the Shadows. Drunkenly, Matt Berry's character changed a baby, turned a baby, which is like considered such a dick move in the vampire world. So it's like every time they show that vampire, he's just in a high chair screaming.
All right. Well, guys, do you want to put this on the list?
Yeah. Let's see.
Sure.
Okay. So, I'm looking up and down the list, and I'm having a hard time finding the proper place. I'm kind of settling. I don't know if anyone besides Al has access to the list, but
I'm looking.
I'm having a hard time settling. I'm thinking somewhere in between Superman and the Mole Men, and well, Blade. That one is at 30, and we've got Blade 2 at 16.
How does this compare to Van Helsing? This is right around that spot.
Yeah, that's what I
think
thought
it's
too. Was Van
better
Helsing.
than Van Helsing.
I think it's better than Van Helsing.
What number is Van
Um,
Helsing at?
To
Van Helsing,
28.
yeah.
Just to compare it to another vampire movie, up at 23 is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It's not better than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, but it's also not worse, if you know what I mean, in its own way.
I do know. I
What's,
think I know
lower
what you
than
mean.
Buffy?
What's
But
that?
let's see, Buffy. Then Return of Swamp Thing,
Is under Buffy.
and Blankman, then Supergirl.
Is it better than those movies? Because Supergirl was awful.
It really was.
It's better than Blankman and Supergirl.
I think it is too. I feel like
It's not better than Return of Swamp
in
Thing.
its own
No,
way.
man, that was
kinda
wrong.
isn't.
Tubers.
Do we want to stick it there then, in between Return of Swamp Thing and Blankman?
I could dig that.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
All right, let's do it then. we're putting Blade Trinity at number 25.
I have to say that RZA's Explainer song is probably the best one yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if just hip hop lends itself better, but it was awesome. The lyrics were good.
Yeah.
It
was an Explainer song, but it was good. Good for him.
It was like Gravediggers. It reminded me of I think it was Gravediggers, but it was RZA did the Gravediggers.
Yeah.
And he's credited as he did the music.
The music, yeah.
That's one of the first times that now he does it often. But
yeah. Wow. Was this RZA's first soundtrack?
I don't know about first. It was one of his earlier.
Yeah.
Months. I can't say first.
Huh. I wonder. I'll have to look into that.
I have no way of verifying.
Yes. If there was only some sort of internet engine that would search for me.
I need a nerdy tech friend who's always working on gadgets.
So that's it, guys. That is Blade Trinity. Boom. Done. In the books. Over. That was our 55th movie.
And Jerry Wag joined us. Jerry's a sniper. He's now been on every Wesley Snipes movie we've done.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've never really liked Wesley Snipes movies until this
that it worked out.
Hey, My Name is Dolomite. He's really good in that, though.
Oh, God, he is.
Yeah.
That movie is fantastic.
Does he show up in any more comic book movies, or is Blade just like, nah, I'm done with all this?
I think that might be it for it. Yeah. So, we might have to have a different excuse to have you back at some point.
Right.
So that's it. Number 55 down. Next week, number 56, Elektra.
Ugh.
Oh, wow.
Jennifer Garner.
Good luck, fellas.
With a cameo, at least, by Mr. Ben Affleck. So, yeah.
Ben Kingsley.
So hard to obtain.
Yeah,
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley as Daredevil.
Yeah, Andy.
That's next week. So thank you all for listening. This has been Throw Smiley, and drinking blood arouses me sexually.
I'm Josh C. And when did you see my dick, fuckface?
I'm Brian Lesh, and I'll just sign you all up for our secret Night Stalker Dakota rings then.
I'm Jerry Wagner, and I was born ready, motherfucker.
Just like the great white shark, I've never had to evolve. I'm Alaric Weber.
It's true, folks. Thank you all. Bye.
Thanks.